Well, hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the tarot reading for serious tarot readers. If you're looking for unicorns and rainbows, this is not the reading for you. I do readings that are honest, that are straight ahead, that are clear, concise, and with any luck at all, inspiring and empowering. That's really what my goal is. So, with that in mind, I think we need to take a look at this situation, and I always compare whatever the reading is with what's going on in society. We live in very, very, very stressful times. Frankly, I think they're historic, but I don't mean that in a good way. Right now, I mean it in a not so good way. I think we're on the verge of one world government, the first time that we could do such a thing for at least the past 6,000 or 7,000 years, recorded history as we know it. What went on before then is intriguing if you take a look at the buildings from many, many thousands of years ago. But we really don't know much about the civilizations. We do have some level of familiarity with the last 6,000 or 7,000 years worth of history. A lot of people have come in, a lot of people tried to have empires, a lot of people try to control their part of the world. But this is the first time we have the technology to be able to do it, and we're really close. I mean, we are so close. It's a frightening message for most people, to the point where they choose to stick their heads up their ass. Doesn't matter what they're smelling. They just don't want to know. Period. That's foolishness. You got to know. One of the best pieces of advice I can give you comes from people who have looked at this and said, and there have been several, what you have to do is maintain your independence. Do not step into the system. Stay as far away from it as you can. Very difficult because the system is enveloping. It covers every single aspect. But when you stop and consider that most of Wall Street is only controlled by three companies, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. They can control every single part of your life, and they're doing it. They're buying up farmland, they're buying up housing, they're pushing people out of jobs, getting ready for the robots to take over. I've heard, over the last several months, more and more people who work with cars going, they're cheaper than they've ever been. They don't hold up. You pay premium price. Price of cars in the past year or two has gone up 50% or more in some cases. Which means, of course, the price of used cars have gone up as well. And the deal with all of this is if they're not making the parts, if the parts don't last, if the cars don't last, they're going to put you into the 15-minute cities. Not a big deal of discussion about that, but that's what's going on. And that's not to consider the other things going on, the pending pandemics. They're going to be throwing something at us, the fog, the UFOs in the skies. I mean, you just run down the list, you can see how they're really, 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 really pushing now. There's nothing holding them back. There's not a single government in the world that I'm aware of that is truly responsive to its citizens. Because they don't have to be. They do the bidding of the puppet masters, the billionaire idiots, psychopaths who are trying to squeeze us. The only thing that may possibly save us is the fact that there are, I think the last count, about 3,500 or so billionaires in the world. And you know you can't get 3,500 people together and agree all the time. And so there is some contention going on. That may buy us more time. But what will help us out, each and every one of us, is to operate independent of the system to the greatest extent. You don't need to be in a big city. You can be in a small town. You don't have to go to the big supermarkets. Maybe start to form co-ops where you can do that. Anything that you can do to support your local farmer, to support your independence locally first. Screw the box stores, the big corporations. They don't care. They don't care, they don't care, they don't care, they don't care, they don't care. I mean, if you can't see that, you should be declared legally blind, handicapped, because it's very obvious. So within this malaise, tarot or manifesting is your most important defensive tool. Why? Because robots can't do that yet. Although last night I read some interesting stories. They're beginning now to see that these bots deceive and lie. They make this shit up on their own, by themselves. And we've already been getting stories of false information coming from AI. I think this is I think this thing's going to backfire to such an extent that even the psychopaths don't even have a clue. But what stands in their way is your ability to manifest. Tarot is the science of potential. Astrology, numerology is the science of cycles. You can predict with those things pretty well. Not so with tarot. Tarot is the science of potential. You see the frequency, you hear about the frequency, you see whether or not it resonates. If it does, do it. Do it. If you feel moved, I mean do it. Don't hesitate, because there is no tomorrow. In fact, at this point, I am giving the new administration until July 4th, 2026. That's roughly a year and a half from now. July 4th, 2026 is the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. Between now and July 4th, 2026, I want to see the middle class doing a hell of a lot better. I want to see the poor doing a hell of a lot better. It doesn't mean you give them anything. However, let's be honest with it. Corporations have been getting tons of handouts from government. They have been getting government welfare, but they're not calling it welfare. I'm not asking for welfare for the average person. Just get the hell out of our way. Let's support local farmers. Let's support local businesses. Let's support the small individual. Let the middle class and the poor rise up by their own efforts, but get the hell out of their way. Well, the one way that you do that is you grab control and you manifest. Now, about 90% of the people in any reading, I don't care if it's numerology, astrology, or tarot, and I've done numerology and astrology for over 50 years, tarot for over 20, I have a little bit of knowledge. Most of the readings, most of the time, only inspire about 10% of the people viewing or listening. That's it. The other 90%, it's a nice piece. I get some information. It's helpful. It's enjoyable. But it doesn't move my spirit. If you are one of the 5 to 10% that it moves, please do so. Let's get to it. Manifesting. Middle card has to be the oracle card. It sets the mood for the reading. It's happy, happy. Happy, happy. A foundational feeling, and not a lot of people are feeling happy, happy these days. Not truly happy, happy. And the more you know about what's going on in the world, the less happy, happy you feel, but you got to get it back. That's foundational to the human spirit. The numbers up on the card to the right are 26. 2 is a decision. 6 is, I call it early form of manifesting. Okay? It's stability. It's kind of coalescing, bringing the energies together. Not quite there yet, but on the way. 2 and 6 together is an 8. 8 is manifesting. So what you're trying to do is make a decision. How the hell do I make myself happy, happy? How do I make myself, my life, mean something to me? How do I get back my integrity? How do I get back my purpose? How do I get back happy, happy? Well, let's find out. All the way, before we begin to get to the reading, let's go to the meme for today. It says, you know you're evolving when you choose someone who gives you peace instead of butterflies. Same thing applies to your life and your lifestyle. You know you're making the right choice when you choose peace. Talk about foundational feelings. Peace. Rather than just the joyride. Ooh, I need a new car. Ooh, I need a new purse. Ooh, 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 ooh. Never brings you joy. You don't see happy billionaires. They're not. They're psychopaths. They're mentally sick. They have a hole in their soul. You can't buy love. You can't buy friendship. You can't buy joy. You can't buy happiness. You can't buy peace. And certainly, you can't buy more time. Whatever you got, you got. I don't give a damn how rich you are. When your time is up, boom, you're dead. All of us born to be born to die. It's the quality of life in between. And the quality of life in between is not solely dependent on things. That's where we've gone wrong. I believe that's one of the reasons why the world is such an unhappy place. We've bought into having things instead of having memories and feelings and being connected. Let's go all the way to the left. First card, Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords says that you've been stabbed in the back, as you can see by the card. Swords are thoughts, ideas. You've been lied to. You know that now. The Ten of Swords is really kind of the end. You know that you have been betrayed. You know that you've been stabbed in the back. You know that you've been left for dead. You know that. You're not. You can see there's a horizon there. He's not dead. You're not dead. You still can get to happy. You understand that now. That means the next card is the Eight of Cups. You're going to have to walk away from all the stuff you're emotionally connected to. Cups, I know tarot readers go, oh, it's a relationship. Bullshit, it's not a relationship, in the strictest sense anyway. Cups are things that we're connected to. Could be a memory, could be a person. Doesn't make any difference. It's something that emotionally moves us, and it can be emotionally bad or good. But it has that hold on us. And what the Eight of Cups says, I know I've been stabbed in the back. I'm walking away from this crap. I'm done. I can't play this game anymore because I'm never going to win. The next card that we move to happens to be one of my favorites, Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing. Now, many times when people do this stuff, they go, oh, things are changing. Ooh, they're looking better. Don't get ahead of yourself. Change is change is change. We don't know which way it's going to go, and it really kind of varies from person to person. That's why I want you to manifest happy. Manifest. If this is moving you happy, that's where you got to be. But without a doubt, the Wheel of Fortune says there's a destiny here. It's a turning point. You see the big picture. You see you've been stabbed in the back. You realize that you have to walk away from a system that is literally out to kill you. This is the point. That's why I'm giving the administration coming in till July 4th, 2026. You got about 16 months, 17 months. I want to see it better for the middle class and the poor. I want to see that. If I don't see that, guess what? We're going to turn on you. And maybe in 2026, it's time to return to 1776. Final card is the Wands card. That's an optimistic card. I love it. Three of Wands. It means that you're, through all of this, pulling the energy of your mind, your body, your spirit. Those frequencies are all beginning to work together like a finely tuned gasoline engine. When all the pistons are working together, man, max power. And that's what you need to do. And that's why you need to manifest happy. It is a foundational feeling. Foundational not just for your life, but for your spirit as a human being. You and I don't have any choice anymore. We don't have any time anymore. The psychopaths are running full speed ahead into a future that they are designing, or they think they're designing. I think it's going to backfire on them. If they get what they want, they're going to be so sorry. But they're sick. They can't stop themselves. Well, you don't have to play the game. It's going to be difficult, going to be tough, but if you want to create happy, you have to back away from the system. Realize that you've been stabbed in the back. Realize that you can't keep doing the same thing that you're doing. Look towards the future in a very positive, hopeful way. Happy. It's a foundational feeling, and you deserve every single bit of it. That's the reading for today. Back again tomorrow with another Tao Manifested reading. Between now and the next time you and I do this tarot thing together, peace and blessings.